Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday. My name is Dean, and this is E, no E, Whiskey. Today we're going to be tasting Maker's 46. This is from Maker's Mark's Distillery out of Loretto, Kentucky. This is a wheated bourbon. And what that means is it's going to have actually wheat in the mash bill versus, say, rye. Typically they'll use rye to get more of the spicier notes out of it. Wheat's going to be a little bit more on the sweeter side. They start off with regular Maker's Mark, and then what they do is they get heavily seared French oak staves that are added to the just emptied standard Maker's Mark casks. Then it's refilled and returned back to the warehouse for an additional undisclosed time period, somewhere around 2 to 3 additional months. What that's going to do, having the heavier charred staves put into the barrels, is that you're going to get a darker coloration to the alcohol itself, and there'll be a lot more of the smokier notes brought out in it. So that's what we're going to be looking for today. The mash bill on this is 70% corn, 16% wheat, 14% malted barley. As you can see, most of your bourbons have rye versus wheat, but this is a wheated bourbon, so therefore it's going to have more of those notes to it, definitely on the sweeter side. So let's go ahead and get this thing opened up here. Alcohol by volume is 47% or 94 proof. I've had this several times in the past. I'm looking forward to it again. It's one of my favorite bourbons. Put this right back up here. There we go. Coloration, because like I said, because it went back in for a little bit longer time period and heavily charred staves, it's going to give you a nice dark toffees type color to it, as opposed to your normal lighter golds and ambers. This one, the glass is going to go to see what sort of windows we have. We've got like no windows, so this is going to tell me it's going to be definitely more of a silkier, smoother bourbon. It's going to be nice and well coating all throughout your mouth. So let's take a sniff here on the nose and see what we have. Well, right off the bat, I get a lot of caramel, toasted oak, more of that woodier notes, vanilla, kind of like a buttery toffee type smell to it. Nice strong richness to it. Not a lot of alcohol that I'm getting out of the nose, but definitely some good solid rich aromas. Okay, let's take a taste and see if this is as good as what I'm hoping it's going to be. Actually, I know it is. Getting a lot of oak, a lot of caramel, cinnamon, a lot of burn. Surprisingly, that's probably because of the time period I went back into the cask with that real heavily charred oak staves. I gave it a little bit more of a heavier bite to it. At 94 proof, I mean, it's definitely not a weak bourbon by any means, but it's a little more harsh on the palate than what I thought it was going to be. Second time around, it's definitely way smoother because your taste buds had a chance to acclimate to the alcohol. Toward the finish, I'm getting more like kind of like a baked bread. Butter rum. Definitely gets some tobacco and leather as it finishes. It does coat the mouth real nicely though. Hangs around for a bit, so it's not a real fast flash in the pan type of bourbon that hits your lips, that goes through your throat, and then 15-20 seconds later it's gone. This one hangs around for a while, so that's also partial to the fact because it's got a lot of silkiness to it. Not very dry, not very chewy, but a nice silky, smooth bourbon, like I said, to coat your mouth and let you enjoy those flavors and aromas for a lot longer. If you like what we do here at E No E, please hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. We'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment. On Wednesdays, we also post on Instagram which bourbon we're going to be tasting that day. In this case here, it's going to be the Maker's 46. And we love to hear from you there also. Please leave a comment on the pictures and tell us what you think. And as I've said in the past, and I'll say it again because this is how I truly, truly feel, the best whiskey or bourbon or scotch that's out there is the one that you like to drink the way you like to drink it. whether it be with a splash of water, on the rocks, with some soda. However you want to drink it is the best way for you to drink it. And that therefore should be your favorite bourbon or scotch or whiskey. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic week. Cheers.